Docker Desktop lets you easily package and run your applications in containers on your computer. With its simple, intuitive interface, you can pull images, run containers, start a Kubernetes cluster, and more with extreme ease. In this video, we'll first see how to install Docker Desktop and install it on a Mac. Next, we will explore its user interface, see how to pull an image from Docker Hub, start a container from that image, interact with that container, all without leaving the useful Docker Desktop interface. We'll also see the powerful extensions marketplace, which allows you to extend your Docker functionality. We will install and show usage of some useful extensions. Finally, we'll show how to start a Kubernetes instance using the Docker Desktop. So, this should be exciting. Let's get started. First, let me Google Docker Desktop and it brings a link to the Docker website. Let me open it. Here is a link to download, and there are downloads for Mac with Intel chip, Apple Silicon, Windows, Linux. Let me click download for Mac with Intel chip as that's what I'm running. The install of Docker Desktop will install the Docker engine, Docker CLI, Docker Compose, Docker Build Tool, Kubernetes, volume management, file shares, and debug. So one simple install brings all the tools you need to run Docker effectively, be it on a Mac, Windows, or Linux systems. Here is the download. The install process is very easy. You just download and follow the prompts. Let me double click it, drag and drop it in the applications folder, and that is it. The install is done. Let's now open the app in the applications folder, click open, and the desktop interface opens up. You can customize the look and feel of this by going to settings. You can choose the theme you want. The Docker terminal is enabled. Docker Desktop installs and utilizes a virtual machine running a lightweight Linux distribution to execute Docker containers, effectively providing a Linux environment within your native operating system to run containerized applications. While the VM exists, you typically do not need to directly manage it, as Docker Desktop handles the underlying virtual machine operations. Docker Desktop leverages the Windows subsystem for Linux to create this Linux VM on a Windows machine. On Mac, it leverages Mac OS's native virtualization features to run a Linux virtual machine. So you can adjust the settings for the CPU, memory, etc. for the VM running on a Mac. Here is the Docker Engine version in use. Now you can create a free Docker Hub account and you can log in here. With this, you would have access to your images, etc. in your Docker Hub right here in the desktop. Now here you can see that I am logged in. There is a Docker engine running. It shows the resources it is using as of now. The default view of containers shows that there are no running containers as of now. Let's click on images. There are none right now. Now we can search the image repository in the Docker Hub and pull the image from there. So let's search for Postgres image and we can pull the latest image from here. It has completed downloading the image, and now we can click run and specify the optional runtime settings. We can also see the image now in our images view. We can also run it from here. Let's specify the port mappings. So the host port to the expose port, let's keep both the same. We can enter the environment variables like Postgres DB, let's say my database, Postgres password, let's say secret, and Postgres user, let's say my user. Now say run. It opens the console log and we can see that the container got started. We can further inspect other settings like read-only paths, etc. The exec tab allows us to interact with the container right here. You can also get to this by going to the container view, click on the three dots and choose open in terminal. It brings us back to the same place. Let's type psql -u for user my user, -d for database my database, and we are logged into the Postgres database which is running in the Docker container. We can create a table and do other operations here. Here is our image, and if you have a lot of images, we can use the search box here to search amongst them. Here are the volumes it creates if you want persistent storage. We have no special builds as of now. Extensions are very exciting and allow us to add functionality and extend our container environment. So here you can see there are tons of extensions. We can search here. For example, let's search for disk, and we see disk live charts extension and disk usage extension. Let's install them. Let's open the disk extension, and it tells us the disk usage for our desktop containers and helps us optimize and reclaim space. The live charts extension provides a real-time graph visualization of CPU, memory, disk, and network. Very cool and useful extensions. Let me show you another one. Type Trivi, and this extension does a vulnerability scan against our images. Let's show all. Choose which image you want to scan and run it. And here it shows all the findings. So very useful extension from a security point of view. Alright, this should give you a good idea for extensions. Let's now see Kubernetes integration. Go to Advanced, Kubernetes, and enable Kubernetes. Apply and restart. You can see the status here, Kubernetes starting. Okay, it's running now. We can interact with Kubernetes either going to our terminal or utilizing the built-in terminal integration here. Type kubectl and we see its help. Type docker ps and we see the running containers. So the Docker desktop provides an easy way to manage containers and Kubernetes on our machines. In this video we saw how to install Docker desktop, change its settings, downloaded Postgres image, ran a container instance against it, interacted with the running container, saw how to browse and install extensions, and finally enabled and interacted with Kubernetes. Thanks for watching.